song. It's only those who are victorious that sing Victor's song. And besides that, as we told us 2 Sundays ago, that Christianity is a relationship, or let me use the word religion this time around, a religion of fruitfulness. Christianity is a religion of battle. Christianity is a religion of wrestling. Christianity is a religion of fighting. Fight, Paul told Timothy, fight the good fight of faith. Ephesians chapter 6. We wrestle not against what? Flesh and blood. Alright? Paul said he has finished his course, he has finished his race. I mean, don't forget that. Christianity is not a jolly religion. It's not a sugar and tea, coffee and all these goody things that people not talk about. I mean, most pulpits make us to forget that we are soldiers, we are warriors, we are wrestlers, we are fighters, we are athletes, we are sojourners, we are fruit bearer. We need to be fruitful, we need to be productive. And as we've been told during the prayer section, you see, the success, the victory are already available. Ours is just to possess it. Now, a fruitless Christian, a Christian that faces defeat all the time. Wrestling, you cannot wrestle. Race, you cannot race. Then certainly, that person is a loser. Or that Christian is a loser. It's so sad to say it, but if you neglect your duty post, the enemy will strike you. If you neglect your duty posts, the evil ones will come into your vineyard and plant seed that you have not planted. You just wake up to see, wow, why is this thing growing in my life? Why is this thing growing in my garden? Why is this thing growing in my career? It's simply, if you look at it very well, you'll be sleeping. But thank God for fellowship. Thank God for church. Thank God for vessels of God. Thank God for ministers, teachers all over the world. And thank God for the fact that we have the access of the internet to access these teachers, to access these informants, messengers of life, that challenge us, that encourages us, that warns us, that kind of, mature us. And I pray as we wake up as soldiers, because we're told in the end, stand up for Jesus, ye soldiers of the cross. As you remember this, the God of heaven, who revives, we're told the church in Laodicea, it was because they were lukewarm, who revives, will revive us day by day. We will not forget our duty posts. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. 2 Sundays ago, by God's grace, I remember I encouraged us with the songs of victory, how David fought his Goliath, and how he won. Now, because he won, one victory led to another battle. He fought the Philistines. And when himself and Saul were coming, the women, thank God for the women. In Exodus 15, it was the women that led the chorus by, what's her name, Miriam. Alright, this time around, women, okay, they were coming. In those days, they did not go to war. It is now that you can see women in the US Army. I think we have Bulgarian Army, there are women as well. There was one day I saw some, hefty ladies in military uniform. But in those days, our sisters, our wives, our women don't go to war, or did not go to war. So theirs is just to wait. Are they going to sing the song of victory, or are they going to sing the song of defeat? This time around, they sang the song of victory. Now, in that song, they ascribed a particular percentage to Saul, and a higher percentage to David. That song of victory caused problem. And so because of that song, David faced the most difficult tenor in his life. But in all, he overcame. The last Sunday, our beloved Pastor Tokwe, where is Tokwe? She ministered. Wow. She said, what is your song when you are faced with the Jericho of your life? Oh, you think I did not know? It's in my notes, words to words. What is your song when you are faced with the Jericho of your life? All right? And I'm sure those of us who listen very well to our testimony, to what God spoke to us through, I'm sure by now you've discovered that when you are faced with a Jericho in your life, begin to sing that song of victory, even before you possess it. That's the message. And as we learn these things day by day, week by week, month by month, season by season, we will possess our possessions in Jesus' name. Amen. Let me hear it bigger. Amen. Amen. The song of victory is such that, as I said, can be sung by victors. And to be a victor, you need to fight the battle, as I said, and become victorious. Now, one of the elements that leads to our victory is wisdom. Alright, we all know that by strength shall no man. Then how then are we going to fight? Wisdom is important. Because of this wisdom, some people will come here and testify how they did well in their exams. Because of this wisdom, some people will come here and testify how they were able to be promoted, how they were able to possess here in this congregation. And because of this wisdom, some people will come here and, glorify God. Because they had, maybe during the teaching or ministration, or maybe during their quiet time, the Lord speaks. And information is given to you, you understood it, it had root in your heart, and it brought forth fruitfulness in your career, in your program, in your business or your investment. That is the power of wisdom. So this morning, I want to encourage us with the title, The Wisdom That Conquers. The Wisdom That Conquers. Well, I want to speak to our psychology this morning through the Word of God. When I say psychology, the mind is a mixture of spiritual and psychology, because we need it. It's not only about spiritual fasting, praying every day, 100 days, where we ignore common sense. By God's special grace, I tend to be very practical in my administration, because I'm aware in this congregation we have scholars. Trust me, we have scholars. And at the same time, we have those who are not scholars, who are business-minded. We have ordinary laymen on the street, those who have not been to the university, no offense. Those who have not been to school. So as a preacher, as a messenger, one needs to to know one's congregation and to be able to carry the message across accordingly. So this morning, please, I'm not going to be giving us any vocabulary or whatever. After all, I don't even know good English myself. But regardless of, make sure you go home today with this teaching. I want us to be able to be radical in our approach to situations of life with this teaching. Wisdom is important. Now open your Bible to Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13 to 18. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 13 to 18. Verse 13 says, This wisdom I have also seen under the sun, and it seems great to me. There was a little city with few men in it, and a great king came against it, besieged it, and built great snares around it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Words of the wise, spoken quietly, should be heard, rather than the shouts of a ruler of fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. One sinner destroys much good. If in a church like this, there is one sinner, you can cause a lot of problem. All that Israel needed to lose to Ai was who? Achan. One sinner. In an investment, in a corporate organization, you just need one crook for that organization to go bankrupt. In a relationship, you just need one person to mess up. The whole thing will just collapse. In a team, you just need one person to just be, what's the word? Be biased or selfish. A lot of things will go wrong. That is why in corporate world, there is no room for nonsense. You mess up, they query you. Second time, they query you. Third time, you're fired. Actually, in America, where they hire and fire. The CEO can hire you today, and tomorrow he'll tell you you're fired. Here in Europe, there is a lot of some diplomacy, some, my right and all this stuff. Well, it's just simple. If, for example, as a CEO, and I discover that you are not performing, I will just, please go. Because the CEO and the directors were the one that collected loan from bank to start a business. And you, just because of one careless attitude, you want all their collaterals and all their investment to just go like that and make people's life miserable. You'll be fired. The same thing in a relationship, the same thing in a team, the same thing in a workforce. Dear brothers and sisters, let us wake up. Well, this ministration will answer the following question. Why are Christians not overcoming? Why are Christians not fruitful? Why are Christians not progressing? Why are Christians, we talk about wrestling, we talk about fighting the good fight of faith, talking about fruitfulness, talking about being productive. Why are you not fruitful? Why are you not productive? As a mission, as an individual, as a Christian, in the church, in your job, in your career, in your investments. Why? So I believe that by God's grace, the next few minutes, when this teaching will be over, you will go home with a message. And if you are the type that you don't write things down, no problem. Thank God the technical team have most of our teaching on YouTube. You can just play it again at the comfort of your home and listen again. That is when this thing can be productive. Constant hearing of the word of God will produce a force in your heart that will empower you to possess your possession. 2 points. Number one, we need to understand the enemy and the battleground. Point number one, understanding the enemies and the battleground. Because you don't understand the terrain, you will waste resources. Because you don't understand Europe, you may easily get lost. Because you don't understand a particular geographical area you find yourself, you may easily get lost. So there's always need for you to know where you are, who you are relating with. Spend time to know, to test, to prove. There's nothing wrong with that. Alright? If a Christian refuses to recognize his enemy, that is the first step to defeat. If we refuse to, if you are ignorant of the devices of the devil, why did Paul say that? If you are ignorant of the devices of the devil, it will just be mesmerizing your life. So, as a Christian, there is need for us to understand who the enemies are and what are the battleground. 5 points. Number one, the enemy obviously is the devil, because we're told in Luke chapter 11 verse 21, Luke 11:21, talking about a strong man. This strong man keeps his home. Alright? It was the Lord Jesus Christ that made that statement. He said there's no way you can dispossess a strong man's property. You first need to what? Disarm that strong man. So he was actually referring to himself. Jesus Christ is the stronger man that what? He was one that dealt with the devil, who holds the world in captivity by giving himself a ransom on the cross. That is just that. Now, I want us to, let's read that. When a strong man, fully armed, guide his own works, his goods are in peace. Who did I say is the enemy there? The devil. Please talk. Who? The devil. Now, what is the battleground? Is palace. Satanic palace. It can be a home. It can be a person. It can be a tribe. Sodom and Gomorrah was like a satanic palace, and he encouraged and promoted immorality. What happened to them? Wiped out. There are cities, communities of the world that they are satanic. It can even be a church. You know, we have Church of Satan. A church can also be a satanic palace. Your life can be a satanic palace. A family can be a satanic palace. A home. So please, let's be careful. Beware of that strong man in our lives, in our destiny. You know, somebody's destiny can be a satanic palace. You have to make up your mind. If you are real with yourself, your shop, your office, your business can be a satanic palace. It is in your place that they will settle you. It is in your place that they will think of how to make other people miserable. It is in your room, it is in your office that they will agree on something that is going to cause problem. I mean, obviously, let's look at it. All the battles and wars that are being fought, where did it start? Maybe 5-4 people, they just talk. Imagine one president of the world and the other president of the world having coffee together and something went wrong and said, you insult me? Okay. And because they refuse to settle their differences at that table, the next thing is military issue. And you know, if it is not wisdom, you know this North Korean guy, they call him a missile, rocket man. What do you think would have happened? Oh, maybe Trump said, you this big boy, and okay, you are talking to me and that. Before you know it, your words. Please don't be a satanic palace. You have to make up your mind. Look, this message will end. We'll share the grace and go. If you don't make up your mind that the rest of your life you will refuse to be the palace where the devil stays, well, you know, we were told in Ezra, don't let the hand of God be against you. Please. It is better you don't hear some things than when you hear, he's talking to himself. You are saying that God is talking to himself. Please, let's make sure that we don't allow our hearts, our mind to be Satan's palace. Number 2. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1 to 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 1 to 4. Let's read it. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1 to 4. Here we see that, therefore, since we have this ministry, this is Paul talking, as we have received mercy, we do not lose heart, but we have renounced the hidden things of shame, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of God deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of God. But even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing, whose minds the God of this age has blinded, who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine on them. Who is the enemy? The God of this age. He's still the same idiot, the devil. Now, where is the battleground? The world, these 8 generations. 8 generations, the devil is always there. He will blindfold people. Don't mind them. They are just saying their own. There is no this God, there is no Jesus. Don't go to that place. He will tell you, he will tell them, not us. Say, don't go to that place. Don't believe, no, there is evolution. No, I don't want this creationist. Because they are fearful to hear that if there is creationist, then there will be a creator. They don't want to hear. They've been blindfolded. The battleground and the enemy. You know, the battleground there is the mind. Everybody say mind. Mind. Oh, this is the battleground. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It is not Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali this time around. It is you and the devil. Where is the boxing ground? Your mind. That is where we're told in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, guide your heart with all diligence. Why? Because out of your mind are the issues of life. Honestly. Then we Christians were told in Romans chapter 12 verse 2 that we should renew our mind. Renew our mind. Why? Because that is the battleground. That is where the God of this world wants to enter. When you are not a Christian, the 2 Corinthians applies to you. You are blindfolded. But the moment you become a Christian, you are free. Alright? But you are not totally free. You have something to do. Guide your heart. Most Christians don't guide their hearts. Alright? That is exactly what the scripture is saying. Romans 12 verse 2b says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When you come to Bible study, what have you come here to do? To renew your mind. When you listen to your favorite preacher, you are renewing your mind. When you do audio Bible, okay, if you are the type that most of the preachers, none of the preachers is applicable to you. Alright, then do audio reading, Bible reading, audio. If that is all you know, that what you are doing is that it renews the mind. And the Holy Spirit knows how to renew your mind when you open your heart to the reading of the Word of God. Point number 3. Third point on the areas of who is the enemy or who are the enemy and what are the battleground is in 1 John chapter 5 from verse 19 to 21. 1 John chapter 5 verse 19 to 21. We're told there that the whole world is under the captive of the devil. And the battleground is the world. The devil he holds the whole world. It's like, a caricature, a magician. He's like a puppet. He hangs everything in his finger. The politics of the world, the institutions of the world, the game, the movie, Hollywood has promotes a lot of atrocities. It is in Hollywood that they will, it's so subtle. They will dramatize what God said we should not do. And people feel, this thing is not that bad. When these actors, it's not that, he's fine. And what they play, what they act, is promoting what God said we should not do. And because it's so subtle, as I said, it's in everybody's room. Now it's even on the phone. You can be cooking and still what? Connected to Hollywood. Hang on, what about Bollywood? What about Nollywood? What about Hungarian wood? We have Hungarian wood. All these things are under the caricature of the devil. Movies, entertainment, music. Now listen to those lyrics. I love you. I love you. And that's drugs, money, killing. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. If you look at it very well, these are the things that affect our mind. And this is what we love. That was why John said, love not the world. Why? Because the devil is in charge. Because the world is the battleground. The dressing, the style. Look, brethren, we are talking about overcoming, conquering, fruitful, winning. It's not possible when you don't understand the game. You don't understand the enemy. You don't understand the battleground. And I pray that the Almighty God will help us to understand these things in Jesus' name. Yeah. Number 4, the messengers of the devil. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10 to 12 is a very popular passage. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10 says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God. Why? That we or you may be able to stand against the wares or wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. What are these guys? Witchcraft, wizard, Illuminati, Freemason, marine spirit. Well, coming from Africa, you know, we don't know Illuminati in Africa. But we know Mami Water. We know Banji. I mean, regardless of where you are, principalities and powers, they are all agents of the devil. They are like mosquitoes. They are, of course, they are mosquitoes. And listen, as a child of God, if you don't open the door of your life, they can't come in. The moment you open up, those of us who are from Africa, even here, Papa, you know, in summertime, there's all these flies. Open the window of your room and put on your light, then you will know that, wow, so there is all these flies in Europe. Because during summertime, they are free. It is cold that says one thing. Sorry? Speak English. Because all the science people, I don't sometimes understand that. Maybe it's very important. What I'm trying to say is that demons, principalities and powers are all nuisance. They are the enemies with faith, particularly as Christians. You don't need to make too much noise, you know. Die, all these things. Some of them, it's good to pray, but hang on. We don't need to. It's not. I'm not talking about being aggressive this time around. You need to pray with understanding. You know this is okay. That's it. You deal with it accordingly, prayerfully, authoritatively. But when you don't know your enemy, in short, sometimes the way they magnify these things, they even magnify them more than the devil they are about themselves or himself. These are principalities and powers. Please, dear brothers and sisters. Now, what are the battleground in a Christian or even anywhere? You know, as I said, they are flies. The moment you open up, they will come in. From today, be careful. I mean, you can't be, as a security person, you can't be too careful, particularly when it comes to all these spiritual things. The clothes you wear, designers, what are the images in it? I mean, come on, brethren. What you apply to your body, the tattoo you put on your body, all in the name of fashion. Don't you know you are opening up? Even the games we play. A Christian should be watchful. They will call you names. Say, fine, I know. I'm not interested. Simple. Even who you date. Alright? The fifth one is in 1 John, same 1 John, chapter 2, verse 22 to 23. 1 John, chapter 2, verse 22 to 23. Who is a liar? But he who denies that Jesus is a Christ, he is the Antichrist, who denies the Father and the Son. Whoever denies the Son does not have the Father either. He who acknowledges the Son has the Father also. These are antichrists. Anybody that does not believe that Jesus is the Son of God and the Messiah, that person is an antichrist. And do you know, these are the messengers of the devil. You don't see them on the streets. You don't see them in a public place. They are in the church. 2 John, because of that, 2 John verse 7. 2 John verse 7 says, verse 10 says, 2 John verse 10, if anyone comes to you, he's writing to the church now, and does not bring this doctrine, do not receive him into your house, nor greet him. For he who greets him shares in his evil deeds. If you don't know, that is not good. If you don't know, anybody that goes about with due respect, the JW and all these people, they pose as Christians. You don't see them as a threat. But when they sit you down, they will bring out what is in you and put in what is in them in you. These are the enemies we face. These are the people, the elements, the forces, the characteristics of the enemy that we face. Now they cause us not to be productive. They make us to be stagnant in life. They purposely cause delay. They will make something that we can acquire within some periods to take longer period. Why? Because we allow them. They can make our life miserable. We may still get to heaven, but we may get there exhausted. And the Lord wants us to enjoy the freedom, the victory that is already in Christ Jesus. So dear brothers and sisters, as I've told you, those things I've mentioned to you are what makes some Christians ineffective. Make some churches not be productive. Make a Christian, according to Matthew 13, where we're told, to be fruitless and not to be able to produce. I mean, we said this during Valentine's Day, that there are 4 categories of relationship as a Christian. The one that hears the word, but because they did not understand, the demons what? Steal it up. Number 2, those who hear the word, they receive with joy, but because of persecution. Who persecutes? Antichrist. Because of persecution, they forget what they had and they compromise. Number 3, those who hear the word also with joy, but because of the cares of this world, the love of this world, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the disco party, and all these things people do, they forget that they are Christians. And the 4th category are those who hear the word, who understands the word. The word has a root in their heart, and because it has a root, it brings forth fruits. And because it brings forth fruit, it produces fruit. Because when Christians sees, when your neighbor who is not a child of God sees the fruit you bear, he will say, brother, you are different. He said, yes. And he goes, why? He said, because of Jesus. He said, how can I be a Christian? You sit him down. You don't even tell him Genesis to Revelation. You say, Jesus changed me. He said, I want to be a Christian as well. That means you are fruitful, and your fruitfulness leads to productivity. It's not difficult. But because we are not exhibiting the fruit of the Spirit, the word, you see, do you think the word is impressed with our song? Or do you think the word is impressed with the way we pray? The way we shout? Some people would say, what are they doing there? They are disturbed. Don't you know we've received query in this place? There is, you see, some of these things these are just forms. They make a crusade. They organize beautiful events. Do all these things produce fruits? If not, we are just wasting resources. And Jesus Christ goes, these guys are not getting it. I want you to be productive. I want you to be fruitful. Some of us, when the doctrine of fruitfulness comes, or productivity comes, it doesn't appeal to us. Talk, go. But when it is claim it, kill it, die it, chop it, and all this stuff, you see the way people pray. Saying the revival. Which revival? Because they want chips and chicken. You can also go to kebab and eat it. Honestly, and you think that's why Jesus Christ died on the cross? That's why most relationships collapse. Most churches discontinue. Some people say, look, this church I'm tired. And when they say, some people that are church prostitutes, when they see that there's another man of God, the Holy Spirit is there, fire is there, miracle is there. This is because we lack we don't understand what we believe. And because they can jump from one church to the other, they can also jump from one relationship to the other. Jump from one thing to, fire, all these aggravations. Lack of fruits, lack of productivity. Now, point number 2. We've talked about the enemy and the battleground. Let's talk about, okay, preacher is enough. What shall I do? Point number 2, the strength of wisdom. The strength of wisdom. You know, wisdom is not aggressive. It's what? Common sense. When we read in Ecclesiastes, that man, he was a poor man. How was he able to defeat the enemy? In 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 9 to 10, 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 9 to 10, Anna said that by strength shall no man prevail. The strength we need, listen guys, is sandwiched in the wisdom of God. You know, for example, I like sandwich, tuna fish and sweet corn. with brown bread and cream. You know, when you eat it, you know, it is the person that is eating it that will know the content, isn't it? The strength we need is in the wisdom of God. Genesis to Revelation, sandwich it. That's the secret. The energy we need is not in some of these all things. This. Seriously, you think? Hang on. You think your noise can scare the devil? No. Your noise cannot scare the devil. Demons? Excuse me. Who are you? All I know. What's this guy's name? Jesus, I know. All I know. Who are you? I'm a redeemed pastor. Don't you know? And seriously, if they bounce on you, you will go out naked. People at the table, you will say, my son, who sent you? Let us understand what we are dealing with. Wisdom is what we need. All right, 5 points. 1, the wisdom that can conquer our enemy is such that comes from above. In James chapter 3, verse 13 to 18, James chapter 3, verse 13 to 18, we were given the description of the wisdom that comes from above. From this passage, we discover that this wisdom is not associated with envy. Bitter envy. Alright? Number 2, this wisdom is not self-seeking. Number 3, this wisdom do not boast. Do not boast against the truth. It does not lie, does not boast or lie against the truth. This wisdom is not earthly. This wisdom is sensual. It descends from the pit of hell. All right. The wisdom that we are talking about, because from that passage there are 2 types of wisdom. There is a wisdom that promotes bitter envy, self-seeking, lies and boasts against the truth, and it's earthly, it's sensual, it's demonic, and it comes from hell. There is another wisdom in that same passage that is heavenly, pure, peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruit, without partiality and hypocrisy. Just like in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, Paul could not define love. Sometimes I always say that, this marriage counseling, all this stuff, good, but for me, there is 7 billion ways of defining love. Meaning everybody has his own definition of love. Everybody has his own. Yeah, there are elements, there are basic, but hang on. The way you see what you call beauty to me is not beauty. For me, beauty is not makeup. Excuse our ladies. I'm a naturalist. I like you natural. But some people say, sorry, that's not my style. I want her to look like Mew mascara. Alright? Look, 1 Corinthians 13, Paul could not define love. He only told us what love is, what love is not. Give another person another opportunity, he will define love in different ways. Why? Because God is love. Who can define God? The same thing with this wisdom. You will need to understand this wisdom we are talking about. It is not the demonic one. It is not the brain ones, do mago. You need to understand James chapter 3 from verse 13 to 18. This is an assignment I'm giving us. Because if you look at Dari now, it's as if I should leave this pulpit. Kind people. But we should not deprive ourselves of the truth that we need. Because it is us that will face the battle. Number 2. The wisdom that can conquer our enemy is in counsel. Proverbs 24. Proverbs 24 verse 1 is very important. Let's read Proverbs 24 verse 1. Proverbs 24 verse 1 to 6. It's important to go home with this knowledge, because honestly we have battles to fight. We need to possess territories. Now, Proverbs 24 verse 1. Do not be envious of evil men, nor desire to be with them. For their heart devises violence, and their lips talk of troublemaking. Through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. By knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong. Yes, a man of knowledge increases strength. For by wise counsel you will wage your own war, and in a multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too lofty for a fool. He does not open his mouth in the gate. What are we talking about? The wisdom you need. You just come to church. Say, Tayo, how can I do this? And that boy. You know, we have Aki, we have Tayo, we have all of you. He was saying that the gift of God in us. You don't know the gift of God in you. It is when you are now confronted with a need and you are able to solve somebody's problem that you begin to appreciate yourself. There are some people you don't toy with. I told us the other day, don't despise people. Maybe your colleague right now is the guilt of tomorrow. But because you feel, who is this boy? Come on, he's coming, everybody be quiet. Look at the shoes, even the brown and the, all these things we talk about. Don't despise people. What I'm trying to say is that counsel is important. As tall as I am, I will go to some people and say, I don't know this thing. Yeah, sit down. I will sit down. You need to come and see your pastor when I'm a student. When you see somebody going from one conference to the other, one seminar to the other, what is he looking for? Information. Counseling. You don't, some of us are proud. We are proud, we can't even be corrected. We are even too proud to approach somebody and say, I don't know this thing. Now certification program. How many of you come? No, I don't need it. Seriously? And that is why you're not productive. Counsel is important. You don't toy with these things. When you are in the midst of people that can counsel you, that can give you instructions, you are safe. Proverbs 15 verse 22 says, plan fails because of lack of counsel. Why couldn't I do it? Because hang on, who did you tell before you go and do this thing? Because you felt you are too proud to be counseled. Hosea 4:6 says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Please let us learn to appreciate who God has placed in our life. And to counsel me. Say, excuse me, sir, what do you think? Honestly, for me, for example, if I want to do something, I can ask 5 people. What do you think? Okay. I know that this guy said it, this guy said that. I said, Lord, what do you think? He said, look, the answers are in front of you. Then I make a move. Number 3, because of our time, the wisdom that can conquer our enemies is far better than strength and weapons of war. Where we read Ecclesiastes 9, 13 to 18. Ecclesiastes 9, 13 to 18. Psalm 20 verse 7 says, some trust in chariots, some in horses. They trust in people. They trust in, they put their trust in what they can see. But if you trust in God, you will conquer. You will be victorious. You will sing the song of victory. Amen. 2 more. Number 4. The wisdom that can conquer our enemy is trustworthy. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 19 says, wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 rulers of the city. Wow. Wisdom. When you have it, don't forget there is a correlation between wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You are a wise person when you are able to apply what you know based on your understanding. Understanding is a perception. Knowledge itself is just an abstract. The teaching, words. Somebody comes and says, just give a code. Say if you can just walk here and walk here and walk there. The fifth building, press 1, 2, 3, and you go in. Wait 8 seconds, look right, open the box, you will see 1 million euro. That's information. Now, it's up to you to now process that. Make sure you understand what that person is saying. And, you understand it, and you apply that. Then you are going, so people are looking at you, what's wrong with this guy? They don't know that you are following instruction. It is later that when you now have your money, you now testify, they will say, how did you do it? You say, hang on, weren't you there when the words came out? You will testify in Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know what your battle is. I have mine. I don't know why you are stagnant. I don't know why you are where you are. I don't know where things are not working. Maybe you are ignoring wisdom. You can pray, you can fast. But hang on, what about knowledge? How do you process it? How do you apply it into issues of your life? Because this wisdom is stronger than 10 rulers, meaning that it's powerful. Ecclesiastes 4:13 says, better a poor wise youth than an old and foolish king who will be admonished no more. I want to see us standing, exercising the strength of wisdom in our daily life, in our corporate worlds, wherever we go. Please. The last one, I love this one. So when I came across this one yesterday, when I was preparing the message, I couldn't just stop thinking about it. This wisdom brings down trusted strongholds. Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21:22. It says, a wise, listen carefully, a wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the trusted stronghold. Wow. It's all about strategy, policy, understanding who you are dealing with. You know, when you are scaling someone, you want to get that person. Of course, you know, you watch, it's a natural thing. How many of you know the praying mantis? You know, there's a movie called Lamantis. Alright, this animal has 6 legs. Well, 4 legs with 2. And this animal's it's just like grasshopper. You Google it. I Googled this, I watched this movie, and I Googled this animal. And I studied this animal. Some Buddhists, Hindus, are using it as a religious element, whatever it is. It just takes like this, patiently, as if he's praying, was watching for the prey to pass by. And he waits, at the right time, he strikes. Let's need for patience. You have to scale your environment. You get to a new area. You ask yourself, what's going on here? We heard that this city is terrible. Okay. Alright, and because of the inspiration of God, Job 32 verse 8, one of my favorite passage in the scripture. There is a spirit in man. All of us seated here, we carry spirit. But the inspiration of the Almighty gives understanding. If you lack understanding, you may be where you are, while others are scaling. You have to scale your environment, scale a person, scan that person out, find out about that person. We're talking about relating, dating. There's something wrong with all those things, but have you done your own work? Do you know who that person is? How do you respond? You have to scale. You want to possess a stronghold. You want things to happen for you. Stop praying all the time without doing anything. There are times when you don't need to pray. There are times when you need to just go for it. Tactically, skillfully go for it. Because stronghold, you can possess any stronghold. But you need to make sure you have the needed tactics. Alright, well, practically, some of you who are like, at least my few friends, I have this association. When we came here, we said, Hungary is tough. Yes, it's tough. But it took myself and, my guy, some time to study what's going on here. Can anything really happen here? We'll scan this area, and the Lord gave us an idea. We registered a business association. Those of you who are my friends, you know what I'm talking about. It's as if the idea just came from nowhere. And now the association is registered. Now, because of that, I have invitations to talk here and there. Say, okay, come on. And I'll be sitting with people, businessmen across the world. And some of us are still here. What do you do with your thesis? Do you just think it's just to pass and leave the school? Facebook, actually, you know it was his what? What now? It was his thesis. Why aren't we stepping up? You know, the other small brother that just led us in prayer, do you know who he is? Brother, please, can you just come? Please, just come and challenge these people. Just 1 or 2 minutes. No, they don't seem to know who you are. Please come. Please come. Please come. Just in one word. Just in a sentence. What is your testimony? How were you able to be the head of innovation of Nokia? And don't preach, just talk.
Okay, so the one he's talking about is the head of innovation networks. So it's, I said earlier on that you don't achieve anything by your own strength. You achieve it by being a good steward to the gifts that God has put in your life. I've been very blessed and very fortunate, and God has given me a lot of opportunities, and I thank God that I've been able to sort of take advantage of those opportunities. But at every point in your life, you will find there will be, praying is not enough. You must pray. Prayer is the foundation. If you don't pray, a lot of things will just pass you by. But the time when you have to apply yourself. I give you simple things. Wisdom, I'm afraid to say this on YouTube, but that's all right. I'll give you simple tips. There are times when you invest yourself. You invest your time, your money to do things that, for instance, the company would not do for you, right? There are times when I travel at my own expense. There are times when I take trainings out of my own expense, but it's because I know that it's going to lead me to a particular success or a particular place, right? And I don't wait for someone else to do it for me. I think that a lot of times at schools has been very advantageous for me. Another one is don't wait until you are called. Call yourself. If you have, and so I think there was one of the pastors who said that the sort of the grace that I have is right now, or at the time before working within an employed environment. I'm going to move and start to work within the entrepreneurial environment as I work shoulders with the entrepreneurs more and more. But if what you're doing is a job, right? Be a busybody. Find the right, get the right knowledge, the right skill sets. Prepare yourself for the next level, and then be a busybody. Apply yourself in a project where no one asks you. When I say no one asks you, it's not as if you just jump and join the project, but you ask, oh, can I get come in and listen? Right? Just want to learn. You go in and learn, and you start to learn. But because, like Pastor Mike said, because you have acquired wisdom around that particular topic, you have acquired knowledge, you've acquired knowledge about that particular, there will be a time when God will tell you to speak up. I've been it as a testimony here several times. I've been in meetings where I just went there to either represent someone, or I went there as just someone who was sort of listening. And while there, I've read something or seen something or taken a training that's relevant. And there God will just be telling me, say this, say this, say this, say this. There was once I didn't say what I was supposed to say. And my boss's boss was sitting 2 seats away from me, and he stood up and said it. I almost went outside to slap myself. And since that time I vowed that I would never be quiet again. So the next opportunity I had with him, I was sitting in a room, was in Budapest here, everybody was saying something, And everybody was saying yes, 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 yes. And he just saw I was shaking my head. So he looked at me and said, what's with this small black boy? And he saying, no, when I say yes, what do you have to say? I said what I needed to say. But what that did was it got me the right level of attention. He realized that this guy knows something different than everybody else, right? And when I got the time one-on-one with him, it made the whole difference. So I think that's so. You just prepare yourself, acquire wisdom, acquire knowledge, and a lot of times wisdom is not you. It's God will help you to digest that knowledge, and when the time comes, you apply it in a way that will blow everybody's mind. That's it.
Thank you very much. So let's read that passage again. Proverbs 21, verse 22. All of us together. Please, can you project it? Proverbs 21, 22. 1, 2, go. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the trusted stronghold. That is, I want you to go home with that. Now, before we pray, who is this wisdom? Time will not permit us. When you go home, I said, who is this wisdom? It's a personified, but it's Jesus Christ. Proverbs 8 gives a full description of who this wisdom is. And lastly, if you lack this wisdom, James chapter 1 verse 5. James chapter 1 verse 5 says, anybody lack wisdom? Let him ask. Let us pray. Just close our eyes and say, Father, thank you for what you have told me today. It's so challenging, so motivational. Please, Lord, help me not to forget. It is important. Some people hear good stuff, they don't understand it, and the enemy steals it. Some people hear good stuff, they understand it, but if those things do not have roots in their hearts, and because of that, they don't produce fruits, and because of that, they are not productive. Say, Father, I want to be able to understand your word. Please, Lord, I want to be doer. Lord, I want to be radical with my thinking. I don't want to allow the enemies to overshadow me, my mind in particular, my body, my destiny. The gifts you have deposited in me, please, Lord, activate them. Thank you, Father.